Oh.
Look at his ears on the left. See
Oh.
that? Okay. So that vertebra, when you were being formed, didn't form like a normal vertebra. Okay. And so it's an anatomical variant. It takes place in about 7% of the population where there's some type of a variant in the transition between the lumbar spine and the sacrum.
So the eye is there. It should look exactly the same as that, and it doesn't.
See, the biggest thing is that the ear here is kind of elongated, accentuated, and it's kind of got a little bit it's going to affect bending. When you bend to the left, that's going to just hit this bone here, and so there's going to be restricted motion. Typically, when people have this type of thing, they start to notice back pain in their mid to later 20s. Okay.
Okay.
But because she's so active, and maybe because of the hip stuff and stuff as a younger kid, it's starting to notice that it's showing itself earlier than some people do. Okay. Another thing, right here. You see this line, and here you don't see it. Okay, what this is what's called the zygapophyseal joint, and the joint on one side. See, this is the line. Okay, so that's the joint. What moves?
And there should be a joint, the line on the
Okay.
other side.
Okay, there is one. However, instead of it being along this plane, on this side, it's like that.
So that's
Okay. It's called facet tropism. All right. So there's a transitional segment between L5 and S1. The L5 and S in the sacrum. There's this transitional segment, and then we have facet tropism at L4 and L5. So there's asymmetrical movement because those joints were not formed symmetrically. This happened within the first few days of gestation because the spine.
Are you
is
serious?
One of the first things that happens in embryology. Yeah. So segmentally, it just this is a variant, and there can be some genetic stuff because I've got something kind of similar.
okay.
And my son does too.
Okay.
So and I had a lot of back pain when I was like 17 years old. So. Because of this is a permanent thing. You've had it your whole life. You're going to have it your whole life. It's just a matter of determining what kind of therapies allow you to maintain the best mobility and function of the joints without creating problems. So, and there's a little bit of a curvature through here too, but
it's not like bad.
No.
Well, I'm concerned about that. That doesn't look.
What do you mean? The back?
No, looking at you from the side, we should see a nice curve like this.
Oh.
See, that's
Okay.
how it's supposed to be. It's the other thing.
That concerned me.
Yeah. This is actually because you're so young. You don't reach skeletal maturity until you're 25.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna
So-
measure her. Never measure anything. Okay.
So, but at the L3 vertebrae, when you bisect the L3 vertebra and drop a line perpendicular to the floor, it really should be in the anterior 1/3 of the sacrum, which would be here. So the spine needs to kind of go like that more. So it's kind of going forward.
Yeah.
And that's creating some extra stress on that area, especially
In light of that.
right there.
So is this almost like ongoing adjustments and treatments, or is this like a spinal doctor? Is this like a what is
No, it's not something you need to see a spinal surgeon
specialist for?
I am a board certified chiropractic orthopedist.
Right.
So we do non-surgical management of these types of things. It's definitely not something that's going to require surgery.
Okay.
But
You're good at that.
just because of the way that those bones were formed, it may show you some limitations at some point in your life. So you're gonna have to be kind of careful.
So obviously with her being at a stage where she's active and she's doing cheerleading and all this stuff, what does that mean for that? In regards to back handsprings and round-offs.
Right. You just gotta do your best to keep the core strong, and be careful with your form and your
So then if she doesn't do that, the pain will get worse, correct? This is for her benefit. What are you
I'm gonna
doing?
take a picture of him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that in a second here. So if she doesn't do that, then clearly the pain will be worse.
Sitting is bad. Sitting causes more pressure.
Which is great for a student.
So yeah, so you got to make sure that when you're sitting, you need to sit in a nice
straight up
proper chair, not slouched over, because that's gonna.
I love doing that.
I know you do, but that's not going to make it any better. That's going to make it worse.